Yo, 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 good people. It's your homie HerbMan. Busting you back upside the head with another. Yes, sir. And if you're new to the program, welcome, welcome, welcome. Please follow, like, share, and subscribe on all the platforms at Love HerbMan. All right, so we're coming live from South Africa, live on YouTube, live on TikTok. Please go get somewhere, get situated. You're welcome to the HerbMan Show. This is where we teach people how to heal themselves, and you cannot heal yourself unless you know thyself. So we teach you here about the human frame and the human design so that you guys can be well on your way to happiness, wholeness, and wellness. These are the three things that you deserve in this particular paradigm. All right. So look, you guys, this is a free information station. You don't got to pay for anything that you hear here today. All you simply got to do is pay attention. And how we do that on the HerbMan Show is by double tapping that screen and getting us up to 100,000 likes during the live broadcast. I'm gonna do my job and work for my food. You do yours and work for yours as well. All right. So let's get y'all situated here on YouTube and TikTok. Make sure everybody is comfortable. All right. So look, you guys, thank you for joining. All right. Keep tapping and I'll keep talking. This is the place where you'll understand the simplicity in how to heal yourself, okay? There's a lot of things that we have started to ignore because ignorance is not necessarily not knowing. The root word of ignorance is to ignore what you know is there. We're ignoring what we know is there because of what we also see is there as well. And you can't allow reality to just thwart everything. You still got to dream. You still got to imagine. You still got to create, right? And so what we understanding about these things is really quickly, I want to go over this for those who are just tuning in. A lot of times when you're in your springtime of life, and I know y'all don't know spring, summer, and fall, you don't know where you at, but let me say this. When you're in your springtime of life, that is a stage of life. That is a growth and development. So things are going to go slow in the spring. Listen to me. When you're in the summer of life, yes, you're at your best. You're at your most skilled. You're at your most legitimate self. Things will go fast for you. So when you're looking at this thing, you say, well, when I'm climbing up the hill, I can predict slow in growth and development. And when I get on top and come down, I can predict fast. So summer and fall are the fast times of life. Winter and spring are the slow times in life. So, okay, so let me put this down here. Spring and winter, both are development. Both are development stages, okay? But one is the development of the physical. So you get all the things that you want out of yourself. You get your appearance right. So this is Aries is your appearance, right? Taurus is your things, okay? Gemini is your communication, right? Yourself, right? So you get your appearance right, you get your money right with your materials, and then you also start to get your speech right, your talk right. Your personal development is the spring. So development is of the physical, the personal, the self, right? So we put the self here as well, right? But the winter is the development of not the outer, but the inner self. All right. So the winter, both spring and winter in your life is going to be developmental stages, one outwardly and one inwardly. And then also fall, and then comes a summer are going to be your fast-paced times. That means that when you're manifesting, you'll see things popping very rapidly, very quickly. You guys keep tapping, I'll keep talking. You'll see things popping very rapidly, very, very, very rapidly in your life, but you don't know that you're there. Okay? And the problem is that the oldest secret on the planet is that we're living in a time capsule based on time. And so our ancestors knew timing. Our ancestors knew timing. They knew how to time the day. They knew how to do all of the things that were necessary, except for one thing. They were able to get to a higher consciousness, but they forgot about the embodiment. They forgot about the body. They forgot about the earth element as they begin to, because see, they came into this with the earth element. They came into this with this relationship with earth. They wanted something different. So imagine people coming into it with the root, from the root, right? All right. So you get this thing that says the root, right? You got these things right here, right? So they came into it with the acknowledgement that you had their sin. But what I'm trying to tell you today is the acknowledgement of how to be a real descendant. Descendants are still living. Are you still living? Keep tapping. I'm going to keep talking. You guys, you keep tapping. I'll keep talking. So when we are teaching this particular thing called the owner's manual, it is for the greater good of humanity. Nothing less. We are descendants, and we need to learn how to be descendants. Modern humans are obsessed with ascending, trying their best to do whatever it takes to escape the body, to escape reality. So we do coping mechanisms. You know what those coping mechanisms are, to escape the reality. Everything we do, we're trying to escape the body, trying to be higher than human. We're trying to be pure light while ignoring the vessel that carries the light. Your body is just as important as your spirit. Your flesh is not evil. It's not the sin. It's not the wrong in you. It's just the thing that you got to treat right. And the truth is this, you guys. We are descendants from our ancestors. We came down to earth. We have incarnated to descend, not to escape, not to escape. And when you're looking at healing, this healing is going to happen when you stop trying to climb these imaginary ladders and instead learn how to actively arrive fully in the body. Ascension without descension is absolute delusion. Who are you fooling? Light without embodiment is instability. Spirit without body is ungrounded. body without spirit is unconscious. Where are we going to be at in this particular time? Yes, be present, Duchess. There you go. Duchess already get it before we even go through the spiel. She already own it before you even go through the spiel, right? But you must know that the descent path, being a descendant, a descent path. You guys, this is live on TikTok, live on YouTube. Please keep tapping. I'll keep talking. But the descent path restores this balance. So you say, well, then what is the descendant? What is the descent? Descent only means returning to the balance, returning to the body, returning to the breath, returning to the nervous system, returning to your emotions, returning to the balance, the present moment. It is the path of grounding, the path of embodiment, the path of emotional healing. It is here. It is here. You stop by for a reason. And if you stay long enough, you'll listen to what you need to hear. It is the path to mineral replenishment, to the rhythmic flow of life, to real connection and seasonal alignment. Descent doesn't mean regression. It doesn't mean falling. It doesn't mean going backwards, you guys. Descent is the path to coherence. And coherence is the path to stability. And stability is the path to evolution. You cannot think that you're going to evolve upward until you first descend inward. See? Did you hear me? Did y'all hear that? Descend inward. That's where we're at. Yes, we're evolving. Every time you come to the HerbMan Show, we're going to make sure that you feel this experience. Because this experience is experience, is spirit and science. And our ancestors were very, very good masters at what they knew. Our ancestors, the adepts and the ancient adepts, they mastered light. But they abandoned water. They mastered the spirit, but they neglected the body. They mastered ascension, but not embodiment. They achieved enlightenment, but not endurance. And this concept that we are offering is an understanding of how we evolve those same masters and do greater works than them. Longevity is a lower body practice. Enlightenment is a higher body practice. Our ancestors were very good at ascending out of the body. But the path of descension, the descent path, you and I, we must learn how to keep consciousness inside the body. You guys keep tapping, I'll keep talking. Y'all keep tapping and I'll keep talking. Man, this is going to be live on YouTube. If y'all miss it, go and get it. Okay? Please subscribe. This is what we're offering the world. This is for everybody, no matter if you know English, no matter if you color my skin, no matter if you're the different gender, for everybody. We've taught this system here. For thousands of years, we've taught this system. And I've shown this before on different videos, so you guys can go and get this if you want to on other videos. All right, but Adam is the root, Eve is the sacral. Okay, Moses is going to be your solar plexus, the wheel. All right, David is going to be the heart. Jesus is going to be the word, the throat. Okay, we understand that, right? Paul is going to be the perspective, because Paul didn't see Jesus. And revelation is your goal, right? This is what they've been teaching for thousands of years. Okay, this is the ascension storyline. And the human story doesn't really start at revelation here. It starts at the root. But the descent path is correcting this information. The descent path wants you to know, no matter rich or poor. The descent path wants you to know, no matter lonely or community. The descent path wants you to know, no matter sick or well, that you start from the highest point. You don't start from the root. You are the descendant. Learn how to descend. Learn how to bring spirit into matter. And be in the moment to change the trajectory of your situation. Now, some people will say, well, this esoteric, this is new, blue. But now let's get to the biology of it all. Because y'all know I like to do spirit and science. Yes, sir. We like to heal through spirit and science. So we ain't going to never leave you out. This ain't no spiritual show. This is a holistic. All of you is my concern. Not one half, not one part, not 2/3, not 3/4 of you, but all of you. Descent is a biological process. When you descend, your nervous system shifts from survival to growth. And in that shift, heart rhythm smooths, thoughts settle, the hormones balance, the immune system awakens. Remember that. The biology of descent is when the 7 waters regulate themselves and the blood pressure stabilizes and the lymph clears itself and the interstitial fluid drains. Cerebrospinal fluid circulates properly and your emotions can be discharged. The biology of descent. You guys keep tapping. I'm going to keep talking, you guys. I got it. You already know I got it. We coming with it today. Ain't no need in y'all playing with it. You guys keep tapping. I'll keep talking. We'll get the questions later. All right. We'll get the questions later. All right. And so next is the minerals. Minerals have to set into your tissues. But this is descent. When the minerals set into your tissues, you cannot hold light without minerals. You cannot hold emotions without water. And when descent happens, the brain waves starts to shift. And in descension, you go from alpha to theta. In ascension, you go from theta to gamma. But the descent prepares the vessel for the gamma insight. And this thing called fascia that nobody really knows about, it starts to relax when you descend. Your fascia is your emotional memory. When your fascia softens, the trauma exits. Descending trauma. It recognizes biology. It recognizes the changes within you. And it brings balance. And we're not telling you that you have to come from your highest level down to the root. What we're trying to teach you is that there is a meeting place. Somebody say meeting place in the chat. There is a meeting place. Okay? Somebody put meeting place in the chat. There is a meeting place. Okay? This ain't a long journey. If you're on the throne of life, this ain't a long journey. If you're in the root of life, it's not a long journey. If you're on the hill, it ain't a long journey. If you're in the valley, it ain't a long journey. Because we're going to meet in the middle. Because the heart is the destination. Many people believe that ascension leads upward. But all the true masters and all the true gurus end up teaching the same truth. But here is the thing. The heart is the highest plane. The heart is the true temple. The heart is where heaven and earth meet. And this is the alchemical marriage. When Harry met Sally, when Adam met Eve, when sperm met egg. You must learn how to descend. And coherence. This coherence, this alignment, this supernatural ability that you're seeking. I put it in the word coherence, but I know what you're looking for. This supernatural ability to heal, this supernatural ability to go from broke to rich, this supernatural ability to go from social awkwardity to the life that you want to live. I know what you are looking for, but coherence requires an understanding of dissension first. Because you got to go down into the body, down into the breath, down into the emotions, down into your seven waters you must play around in. Okay? It is here. It is here where the marriage becomes everything that you're looking for, where you, the new you, the rebirth. You must into your mineral self. You cannot open the heart from the sky. You must open it from the ground. Okay? You must open it from the ground. And this is a very great aspect, because ascension by itself, sometimes it'll fracture your identity. It'll destabilize your emotions. Sometimes it creates spiritual bypassing. A lot of times it leads to burnout and illusion. But when you descend, it stabilizes. It grounds. It heals. It restores coherence. It returns you to your season. Yes, ascension will reveal truth. But dissension makes truth livable. So it ain't just one part of me to know the truth and don't live it. It ain't just one part of me to get up here into this high consciousness and can't bring it down to simplicity for Rico and them. Because Rico and them deserve the truth without the elite price. Mama and them deserve the truth without the elite cost. They deserve the elite understanding without the elite cost. They deserve the elite treatment without the elite cost. Because they are here too. And they're just as precious as the least of us or the best of us. And so we want to start giving elite information to each and every one of us. You don't got to try to beat these people down for money, y'all. You don't got to try to beat them down for money. If you are the best is going to be in your teaching and into your products, not in your price. Not in your price. The highest price don't mean the best. And I've said this 1,000 times on these shows. The best food you ever ate is from your mama. And she don't charge you shit. Free meal. But it's the best in your life. So don't think that a price tag makes quality. Listen to what we say. Because this descending path is the path to resurrection. And a lot of you guys are looking to resurrect your life in a lot of different ways. But resurrection into the body fully. And even the Bible speaks about this. Adam is the root, the foundation. Eve is the sacral, the creation. Moses is the solar plexus, the wheel. David is the heart, right? The coherence. Jesus is the word, the expression. Paul is the pituitary, the third eye, the insight. In Revelation, the crown is illumination. Ascension travels upward. Descension brings illumination back down into the body so life can actually change for you. You want to do it here. So many gurus and masters got to that shit and left. Died in the body, but forever living in the spirit. But the story says that there was a man that came that was living, that had God in the flesh. Y'all don't know that by now. It's an old ancient understanding. But they only could go as far as the knowledge could take them biologically. They knew cosmology. They knew the land. And the difference is that you're opposite. You know the body, but you don't know cosmology. They know the cosmology, but they didn't know the body. Let's integrate it to evolve our culture of human species. And with your owner's manual, we promise you that that's what you're getting. Experience. A combination of healing through spirit and science. Without descent, resurrection cannot manifest physically. So we'll give these practices so that you can start to garnish your own and produce your own medicine. Rhythms that we teach you are rhythms of descent. Discharge medicines. The discharge medicines are going to be rhythms of descent, right? To descend, a human must discharge daily to handle the stress that's being held in your nervous system. And there are always going to be these four major medicines that you can produce on a daily. And we're going to teach you how today, how to produce these on a daily basis. You guys keep tapping and I'll keep talking. But singing, you guys, is going to release. I'm going to say singing and then I'm going to say humming. Okay, because these are things that you're going to be able to do at your job, right? I'm going to show you that these are things that are going to help you at your daily job, your school, wherever you're at, you're working, you're in whatever. We're going to help you today. You're going to do some stuff that's so simple that you're going to be able to do it on your job. That's what we're going to do today. You guys keep tapping. Let's get us up to 100K. We already back too far because that's 24. I already did a master class on what I did. Okay? I already gave you a master class on what I just talked about. Show some respect, show some regards, do your job, double tap the screen. Let other folks get this message. Singing releases the trapped breath. Singing releases the trapped breath. Dancing, movement. Okay, let me say movement too. Because I don't want Rico and them to think that we're going to make them dance. Rico and them and Mama Man, they them, you ain't got to dance. But just movement moves stagnation through the fascia and the muscles. Just dancing and moving. 3, we got laughing. Okay? Laughing breaks trauma. Laughing resets the brain. Okay? These just a little bit of something. We're going to keep it moving. I ain't going to stay on them long. And then last but not least is the touch. Or the cry. The touch or the cry is going to flush your emotional toxins from the 7 waters. These activities should not be overlooked. Because in the old culture, in the old days, these were the medicines. Before pills and supplements, and even herbs, the enjoyment of life, the enjoyment of this experience was the medicine. And these activities restore the lower body, which is required in order for your heart to open. And this is why our herbs that we provide in the owner's manual and the whole understanding of the owner's manual helps you in this process. Because it mineralizes you. It hydrates you. It clears the stagnation within you. It restores your nervous system tone. And you got to understand the order that dissension moves in. Okay? You got to understand the order that dissension moves in. And the first thing is that the order of it is going to be first, it moves in the body. Okay? Dissension moves in the body. Remember, it has to relax the fascia. Okay? In order to release the trauma. Okay? And then secondly, it'll move in the breath. Okay? Secondly, it'll move in the breath. Because when you enter Kairos, you slow time. I'm talking about real life manipulation. Thirdly is the heart. The heart, it gains coherence, emotional clarity. 4 is the mind. This is where insight becomes accessible. And that's what I want from the owner's manual, is for you to access that insight so you can bring back the answer to your poverty. You can bring back the answer to your loneliness, that you can bring back the answer to your sickness. You gonna bring it back when I get you back in tune. 5 is the spirit. Every one of us have all of these. Spirit is when purpose becomes embodied. And you cannot skip these steps. And we're going to show you guys the importance of this information. There ain't been a teacher. Look, I've been looking for somebody like me and had to become it in order to see it. I'm going to repeat that one more time. I was scrolling and I was opinionated and I was angry and I would talk shit about people and I would say things about people because they weren't leading in the way that I know I could. But because I didn't see me in that light, I over and bypassed me and was criticizing those that I saw until I realized that what I'm looking for is standing right here. If it ain't been run the way you wanted to run, you got to run it. If it ain't been spoken the way you wanted to speak, then you need to speak it. If it ain't been done the way you wanted to be done, then you got to do it. It is you that you look for. How many of you understand that that's what it is? Put some ones in the chat if you realize that that's what it is today. You are what you're looking for. And you're going to continue to be critical. You're going to continue to be critical until you realize that the only thing that can change your criticism is when you realize that it is you that you're looking for. And you must understand that dissension is not a fall. It's a landing. You're landing the airplane. It is where spirit I want you to get this. You must get it that dissension is not falling. You're landing. Meets up with the body. So the body got to do its job to be well. And the spirit got to do its job to be able to come down. So you can't be so spiritually high that you can't come down, and you can't be so physically fucked up that you can't get right. Get what I'm saying? This is where and how holistic medicine really works. This is where coherence appears. It is where healing begins. What I'm teaching you is where longevity becomes possible. What I am teaching you today is where purpose becomes real. To descend is to return home. And every step downward brings you closer to your heart, bring you close to love, brings you closer to you. That's what we're doing. What HerbMan doing over there? What HerbMan trying to do? Create experience. I don't want you to buy my herbs. I want you to experience the result that you're looking for. I don't want you to just fly by my channel. I want you to experience something with me, my brother, my sister. Give me 5 minutes. Give me 10 minutes out of your hectic day. I know you're busy, but do you want to experience something together that maybe you and your coworkers can't do, or maybe you and your spouse can't do? Or can you descend and be in the present moment? This is where your healing resides. This is where your healing is. And once we get to 100K, because I ain't going to let y'all off the hook. It's too good of a message. Once we get to 100K, I'm going to show you subtle tension relievers. Subtle tension relievers that you ain't got to worry about. You can do them in the workplace. You can do them in public spaces. You can do these stressful conversations. You can do these parenting. Okay? You can do these when you're driving. So the truck drivers, I got you. Subtle tension relievers. You can do if you got a customer service job, if you work in the restaurant. All this type of capitalistic pressure environments, you can do these subtle tension relievers that we're going to show you at 100K. Social anxiety situations, you can do these things. I'm tired of the excuses of what is it that I can do. I don't want to drink tea all through the day. I don't want to pop a pill all through the day. That's fine, because I got something for you that's quicker, faster, and stronger. It requires personal responsibility. It requires your commitment, but it's absolutely free. Absolutely free. I understand that most people can't break into a full dance or a crying session at work, but they can still release tension in micro doses, and we're going to show you how. But we got to get the lives up. We got to get the likes up, you guys. All right? Got to get the likes up. What question do you got? This is deep. I deal with kids all day long as school bus conductor. Yes, baby. We're going to show you. Okay? None of this hocus pocus stuff. None of this, oh, I got to pay for it. And education I will teach will be free. Now, if you're looking for if you're looking for navigation and calculation, and you're looking for a consultation, $50. But education, if you get it, you got it, and you good. But us as modern humans, we need to learn subtle tension relievers. We need to understand, and again, I know you can't break out dancing and singing. So that's why when we get to 100K, this ain't going to be that. But it's going to be things that you've never thought about before. Like yesterday, I told you that if you release your jaw, which is our number one thing, if you release your jaw and lower your shoulder, you automatically release tension. Way before you pop the BC, way before you pop the aspirin. A releasing of the jaw, lowering your jaw. Taking your tongue, some of y'all don't realize what you're doing. You watching me right now, but your tongue is at the top of your mouth. That's tension. It's natural to do it because nobody's taught you these things. Like, damn, I'm looking at my phone. My jaw is locked. My tongue is at the top of my mouth because you're in tension. because you're in tune, and that's fine. But I'm going to show you that you're doing this all the time. And these little key things can start to discharge, release tension as you go throughout your day. We need 100K, you guys. Please keep tapping, and I'll keep talking. Anybody got any questions thus far? Anybody got any questions thus far? Okay? These things that we're teaching you is going to support the descent path simply by discharging tension. And we can do this before it accumulates. We can have you prepared for your day before things start happening. I've been experiencing this all week. I feel the release. Thank you, Perdithia. Yes, keep doing it. The micro expression in themselves, they need to notice. Yes, Tanita. Okay, this is what we're talking about. Micro doses of how to release tension. And I'm going to erase the board because we got to get there. But y'all ain't there yet. Keep tapping, you guys. 100K, we talk about subtle tension relievers. Okay? I got to get y'all to work now because I just brung a rhema word. And I know it wasn't long, but it was strong. And sometimes I come on here, I make sure that I ain't trying to hold your day. But we got to make sure that we give you quality of service. Quality of service. And you can't get no better word than what you heard today. Okay? You can't get no better word than what you heard today. But I also want to give you practical things that can bring you out of the darkness into the light. John Wall says cerebrospinal fluid. What is your question, John Wall? What is cerebrospinal fluid? What are you trying to do with cerebrospinal fluid? If there are issues in cerebrospinal fluid, then that's going to have a lot to do with the migraines, the headaches, the dementia, the Parkinson's, have children. And you think that that's what makes you a woman. That's what makes you a man. That's what you think. And you disregard that that's an ability, but it's not you. And even as a woman, if you've never been a mother, if you never be a wife, you're still a woman. And there is no bigger label on the planet than being a woman. So don't look at CEO and president and wife and sister. Don't. The compliment is the woman. It's the biggest title. And brother, I'm encouraging you to do the same, man. You don't live in your titles. The biggest thing that you ever can live up to is that man in you. Not the husband in you, because you may not know how to be that. Not the friend in you, because you may not know how to be that. Not the dad, not the brother in you, because you may not have had great examples, but the man in you. The man in you is your greatest accomplishment. Not meeting a woman and marrying her, not having no babies. You as a man, brother, comes with certain attitudes that needs to be exposed. So we got to be able to resurrect ourselves with the right practices. And what's happening is in this particular front, in this world that we're living in, you're being confounded with so much information. Look, you got so much on the shelves in the grocery store, you don't know what to choose. I don't know what to choose from. And that's the problem. And so that means that you got to have your thinking on. You got to have your spiritual discernment on. You got to be able to have this thing on that says I can still find the right choices in a million of the wrong choices. I can still find the right person in a million of the wrong people. I can still find the right opportunity in the million of wrong opportunities. See, because if you can't get that right, then guess what? Life is going to seem hellacious. going through all them people and all them places and all them things. You're going to get lost. See, it's time. That's what this is. This time. The greatest gift in the world was being able to resurrect a person. And I'm standing here today as a living witness to you, talking to you live, social media platforms of TikTok and YouTube. I can resurrect you. You can resurrect yourself. And I can teach you how. But you got to be ready to go back to some old stuff. You got to be ready to be a participant in your own health. You can't be looking for passive things too long. Okay? Because remember I told you every breath deserves gratitude. Every breath deserves gratitude. And once we get back to that, then you'll see that that'll start healing you. And I'm going to still show you these practices. But at the end of the day, my point to you is that this is real. And a lot of you guys are looking for something real. But you don't want to participate in your own healing. So you see, again, I told you that spring is slow because you're developing. Summer is fast because you're where you need to be. Fall is fast, right? Because you just look at it coming down this hill. So this is a fast slope. Fall is fast as you come back up the mountain, right? So winter is slow, spring is slow, summer is fast, and fall is fast. So you'll accumulate a lot in the summer. You'll start releasing a lot of things. A lot of things will just put it like this. Manifestation happens fast in summer and fall. It happens slow. Spring and winter are more in manifestations. Summer and fall are more outward. Do you know where you are? Do you understand what nature is trying to tell you? When we do our consultations, that's the biggest thing on the planet, is what nature is trying to tell you. You guys got wants, you guys got needs, you guys got desire. I understand it, I hear it, I got them too, so I get it. But at the end of the day, I try to barrel it all the way back down to, okay, I know what you want, need, and desire now. But let's integrate it with what nature is telling you. You're worried about this when this is the objective. You're messing around and fumbling around with this when this is the subject. And if you can just focus on the subject, you pass and you move on to the next. And so if you just focus on the subject, you pass. The sickness will pass. The loneliness will dissolve. The impoverished situation will turn into a new opportunity. All about timing. They say that they saw the North Star and the baby in the manger. All of that whole story is nothing but timing. Knowing when is what you're ignorant of. Because you are biological beings as modern humans. And you forgot about cosmology. So you're in your fullness in the flesh with no understanding of time. So that is fleshly experience. But when we combine the information and meet in the heart coherence, well, everything that we learn and experience and all the revolution, the evolution is evolved around the becomes super intuitive, super healing powers, super aging powers where you ain't even aging. Like, what the hell? It's because you've tapped into a coherence in the middle. You didn't make the body have to go all the way up. You didn't make the spirit have to come all the way down. You got your body up to a point and your spirit up to a point where it was able to come down, thinking that it's leaving something out, and then been able to marry the middle. And we can make this happen. We've already done it. We've been doing it. We're going to continue to keep doing it. You guys keep tapping. I'm going to keep talking. I'm through crying, so I ain't got to worry about the crying no more. Through crying. Now, y'all keep tapping. I'll keep talking, man. But this shit real to me. If y'all can see, this real to me, man. I don't play no game. This real to me. Okay? This ain't no games. This ain't no scam. This ain't none of that bullshit. Okay? This ain't no astrology bullshit, no life path number bullshit. This ain't no herbal selling you products bullshit. This ain't none of that. This is free my people stuff. And I ain't free unless you free. I ain't safe unless you safe. So we got to do it together. We got to do it together. Okay? We got to do it together, you guys. There is no way around it. We have to do it together. We almost at that 100K. So we're going to go ahead and get into the subject matter. But we are almost at that 100K. You guys keep tapping. I'm going to keep talking, okay? This is absolutely critical, okay, to you understanding how to discharge throughout your day. This is absolutely critical. If you guys got parents, if y'all got grandmamas, great-grandmamas, this is the time to tell them, go ahead and tune into the boy, because he's about to show us once we get to 100K, which is only 10,000 likes away, all right? So, which means basically in another 5 minutes or so, we're going to be doing this, okay? And I'm going to show you guys that no matter if you're in the workplace, no matter if you're in public spaces, no matter if you're in your office, no matter if you're parenting, no matter if you're driving, you're truck driving or whatever kind of truck or whatever kind of drive, if you're in customer service jobs, if you're in any kind of capitalistic type of environment, you can do this. These are things that are micro practices that regulate your nervous system. It ain't gonna have you looking stupid. It ain't gonna have you looking crazy. But they're going to fit into the modern life. And we need this. Something to where we ain't got to drink a tea and then next thing you know, I got to go shit out my guts out. I got to pop your pills and all that. I ain't got time for all of that. And that's why folks don't do this, because holistic, natural medicines and herbalism and all this stuff is being inconvenienced to the modern life. And I get it. But we're going to show you how to do this. We're almost there, you guys. Go ahead. We need about 6,000 more likes. You keep tapping. I'll keep talking. I'm going to go ahead and write them up here because I know y'all ready. Okay? Yeah. Yes, you just make your own tune. Say ooh. Yeah. Ooh. Come on, y'all. Hum with me. Make your noise. Make your noise. Make your noise. Move your body. Create your sound. Discharge. Let it go. Shake it loose. Discharge. Let it go. Shake it loose. Discharge. Sometimes you gotta dance it away. Sometimes you gotta laugh it away. Sometimes you gotta cry it away. And sometimes you gotta hum it away, but you're gonna get it out. What they're putting in, you need to be able to get it out. And far too long, we've been lying to you, telling you that herbs is the answer, and medications is the answer, and meditations is the answer. These are only impartial information, giving you only in part. But we're now here to evolve and give you the full story, and give you the full understanding. All right? So you guys ready? Put some ones in the chat. Let's go. Thank you for the 100K. You guys ready? I know you guys had to work for that, but hell, I got to work for this. I'm working for it too. So I know your thumbs hurt. Well, shit, my goddamn tonsils hurting, but we gonna work. We working. Okay? We work. The first thing is the jaw drop. The jaw drop. Okay? Very, very subtle. All you're doing is gently lowering the jaw 1 to 2 centimeters. You let the tongue soften. Breathe quietly through the nose. Do this with me now. The jaw drop. Drop your jaw. Relax it. Relax your jaw. Let the tongue soften. Breathe quietly through your nose. And the reason why this works is because the jaw is connected to the vagus nerve. It's also connected to your fight or flight activation. It also helps you suppress emotions. So once you understand this, then you'll understand that loosening the jaw tells the nervous system, we are safe. Loosening the jaw, softening the tongue, and breathing in and out the nose, out the mouth. It's telling the nervous system, we are safe. We are safe. When you get that diagnosis, we're safe. When you get that bill in the mail, we're safe. We're safe. And you can use this in any kind of moment, right? But when you're reading stressful messages, emails and text messages y'all be sending each other, great time to do it. When you in a conversation with somebody talking aggressively, relax. If you feel pressure to perform right before the performance, if you catch yourself clenching, and a lot of us don't, and I just exposed, I didn't even know that my jaw was locked reading it because I'm intensely trying to, inward tension, intensely trying to recover information and realizing that, damn, I'm in stress trying to learn. Good way to relieve tension. So, secondly, we want you to soften your eyes. Now, we ask you to soften the tongue, but we want you to soften the eyes here. What you mean soften the eyes? Stop focusing on one point. Allow your peripheral vision to expand. Lower your shoulders. And this works because tunnel vision is our survival mode. But our peripheral vision is safety mode. So we want you to get out of tunnel vision with every little thing you're going through and everything. They did this and they won this and they were costing me and I think they're costing me and the government want me and they want to fire me and everything is all about you. Tunnel vision, come out some. Stop being so microscopic. It's too stressful down there. Bring it back out a little bit. Bring it back out a little bit, okay? Bring it back out. Stop using binoculars and microscopes. And use your own eyes to see the situation. Because when you this, it instantly moves the brain from sympathetic to parasympathetic. And you can use this when you're when you're feeling judged. You can use this stuff. The peripheral, not the tunnel vision. Okay? And the next one here we're going to say is a sigh. Okay? A sigh. Now we want this sigh to be micro. We don't want you to be macro sign, but we want it to be a micro sign. And the reason why is because this is going to help us with the temperature. All right? The environmental temperature, the emotional temperature release. And all you do is just inhale normally. And just exhale slightly longer than you normally do. And so this one is where the mouth comes in at. So this inhalation through the nose and just exhale slightly longer through the mouth. Let your shoulders drop. And sigh. You know how I say, good, please. Basta. That's sigh. But you do it with them shoulders. You're letting it go. And this sigh releases adrenaline. It releases muscle tension. It releases the emotional heat that have been stirred up due to the stress. So a sigh actually cools the body and stabilizes the heart. And you can use this when you're frustrated. Use this when you're overly stimulated. Use this when you're overstressed out at work. Use these things. You don't need medications. You got free medicines within you. Free medicines. Free medicine. All right, and then next one here is earthing. So we know what earthing is, right? Putting your feet on the soil, pressing toes into the ground. Okay, now here is the thing. What I'm finna show you though is not just a earthing, but more of a foot pressure shift. Okay, I'm finna show you a foot pressure shift. The first thing you're gonna do when you're at your job or whenever you're at, you're gonna go to your toes, right? So you're gonna have your heels off the ground, and you're gonna plant your toes in the ground. And when you plant your toes in the ground, I want you to do that for 5 or 10 seconds while you relax the heels. And then you rock back on the heel to relax the toes 5 to 10 seconds. That little rocking, that foot pressure shift, that little rocking, that foot pressure in the ground on the toes with the heels relaxed. for 5 to 10 seconds, and then you're going to rock back on the heels and relax the toes for 5 to 10. That little shift, do it right now. It's going to create micro grounding by stimulating your fascia chains, your pelvic stabilization, the vagus nerve throughout the feet, your proprioception. It tells the body, I am here. I am safe. I am present. And you can use this when you're stuck at the desk, when you're in uncomfortable business meetings and uncomfortable conversations and dinner meetings and dinner table talk, and you can start to shift and release the tension. When anxiety spikes, you can use this. Yes, you can use this. You can use this. These are the way you produce the medicines. 5, we're going to be talking about the tongue dropping. All right, the tongue dropping is another one. Very subtle stuff. But this is going to be for releasing trauma. Got something for emotions. Got something for trauma. You got your tongue sits in your mouth, and you gently drop it from the roof of the mouth. If your tongue is at the roof of the mouth, you're tense. Babe, where your tongue at? Think about it real quick. Where your tongue at? Yeah, it's at the root of. When your tongue is at the root of your mouth, you are intense and you are in sympathetic mode. You didn't know that, did you? Because it's so fucking subtle. There ain't nobody teaching me about this shit. And had I have known and been able to tell my mama and them and my grandmama and them how many lives I could have saved. And the reason why it works, a raised tongue activates fight or flight, sympathetic. A raised tongue is survival mode, sympathetic. A raised tone is tension, and it gets in the jaw, the neck, the throat, the face. But dropping it relaxes all of the cranial nerves. And you can use this when you're overthinking, thinking too much. Some of my people are out there thinking too much. Watch your tongue. Pay attention to your tongue and release. Some of my Virgos, my overanalyzers. Some of my Geminis that are my mentally spiraling people. Aquariuses. You know who I'm talking to. Watch your tongue. Watch your tongue. Okay? Watch your tongue. And then this one I always teach you guys about, but this is your hands. Okay? Your hands can help you release. This is a instant fascia relaxation. If you guys are interested in this information, you can go to the DM me and we'll get you the owner's manual. All of this information is in your owner's manual. Okay? All of this information is in your owner's manual. Dropping gems of knowledge always. Natural Natty, you know how we do it. Okay? The hand release is instant fascia relaxation. So all we doing is gently uncurl your fingers and let the palms stay open. Loosen your wrist. And the reason why this works is because tension in the hands is tension in the heart and chest. So this small release relaxes. Not just fascia, but there are forearm stimulators. Use this when you're typing, when you're texting all day, when you're holding the steering wheel, my brothers and sisters. When you're feeling defensive, let go. Man, thank you, 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 thank you. Yes, thank you. Thank you for giving this to me. And thank you for giving me the heart to give it away. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So next we're talking about temperature. And again, when you get too hot, you're stressed. When you get too cold, you can be depressed. And so we know that stress will dictate how hot the desk of life. Okay? How many of you understand and put some ones in the chat? Let me know y'all with me. Let me know y'all with me. YouTubers, appreciate your love, YouTube. We appreciate your love. Tuning in. Yes, sir. Tuning in. We appreciate you. All right? Last but never gonna be the least. Okay? Last but never gonna be the least is dance. And this is what we're gonna call it. Because y'all get too confused with dance, so we're gonna call it swaying. Swaying is a nervous system fluid reset. And I teach you guys that by swaying, you're not only going left to right, but we got your arms open, right? You don't have to do nothing so noticeable. You can just be standing in the line. Yeah. Gotta get it, gotta get it, gotta get it. Gotta get it, gotta get it, gotta get it. Nah. Yeah. You're just making your own thing. Producing your own medicine. I consume what I produce. And I produce what I consume. Swaying the body 1 to 2 centimeters side to side. Being barely noticeable. Keeping your breath natural. This mimics the motion that baby uses doing self-regulation. The rocking motion, the swaying, is what baby use for self-regulation. And this resets your cerebral spinal fluid flow. Your interstitial fluid, it resets. Ooh, this is the bug about. It resets the vagal tone, and the emotional rhythm gets reset by this. And you can use this when you're standing in public, when you have social anxiety, when you're in waiting rooms, when you have this emotional tension rising. That's for you to sway. Sway your way through.